Pierre Poilievre just gave this phenomenal speech to a packed room in the heart of liberal Toronto.
We will get rid of the industrial carbon tax so that we can produce our steel, aluminum, cement, concrete. Yes, we will axe the whole tax, for real, for everyone, for good, and forever. We will ensure that our energy comes to the surface by getting rid of the energy cap. We will give the fastest building permits of any country in the OECD. We will bring in place shovel-ready projects. There will be shovel-ready zones, pre-approved, to dig the mines, build the pipelines, expand the ports, build all of these things. And it will be blue-collar, six-figure jobs, primarily for our young trades workers. And we will ensure that our young trades, they get their fair share of federal tax dollars for training and job placement. We want the boots and the suits so that we can get our people into the job. And we're going to make sure that Canadian jobs go to Canadian workers. Right now, Canadian jobs go to Canadian workers. Multinational corporations want to drive down wages and drive our kids out of jobs by exploiting low-wage temporary foreign workers from poor countries. Now, Mark Carney was asked about my idea to solve this problem. And he said, well, he's talked to a lot of corporate lobbyists, and they've confirmed that they need to bring in low-wage workers from abroad, even while we have more unemployed youth than at any time in a decade and a half. Carney's corporate cronies say they need to bring the jobs to low-wage temporary foreign workers. Now, let's be clear. These temporary foreign workers, they're good people. They're decent. They just want the best for themselves. But we cannot bring in people from abroad to fill jobs that we do not have ourselves. Our young people need those jobs. We will get rid of the temporary foreign worker program, and we will ensure that it is Canadians first for Canadian jobs. And then you need to be able to take home the paycheck that you earned. Right now, you're spending more money on taxes than on food, clothing, and shelter combined. No good deed goes unpunished in Liberal Canada. You know, I saw this incredible meme of this man sitting with his boy in a park, and the boy was bawling his eyes out, and the boy had said in the speech bubble, he said, "Dad, what is an income tax form?" And his dad said, "Well, it's kind of like your school report card, except the opposite. The harder you work, the worse you do." Right? Income tax is the fine you pay for the crime of working hard. And you young people see it every day. You go in, you earn a paycheck, and then you do the extra hours. You get paid the overtime. And when you get that paycheck, what do you find out? That the government took the biggest bite of all. They contributed nothing to your work, and yet they get the biggest paycheck. They get the biggest part of your paycheck. Conservatives are going to cut income tax so that your hard work pays off and you bring home more of each dollar you earn. In fact, we will cut taxes on work, investment, home building, and energy to unlock more production and paychecks here in Canada and to strengthen our economy against any threats from abroad. But we also need to make sure that your dollar has buying power. And Mark Carney and the Liberals have destroyed that with inflation. Inflation is the worst tax of all. It is an immoral tax because it takes from the poorest people, especially young people. Why are young people the hardest hit by inflation? Because you've not had the time to build up inflation-proof assets that protect you against the attack on your buying power. You live off cash. The money that comes from your paycheck is the money that you use to buy things. And when every year that money buys you less, you're getting poorer despite working harder. Why does inflation happen? Too much money chasing too few goods. It's very simple. If you have an economy with 10 apples and $10, it's $1 an apple. If you double the number of dollars to 20 and you still only have 10 apples, you're not twice as rich. It's just that each apple costs twice as much. Liberals have grown our money supply from $1.8 trillion to $2.5 trillion in the last 5 years. That's a 40% increase in the money supply, during which time the real economy has only grown by 4 or 5%. In other words, they're growing the money 10 times faster than they grow the stuff that money buys. Great news for Brookfield, by the way. No, I'm telling you, their CEO actually says, it's on tape, the CEO of Brookfield, Mark Carney's company, which he continues to have tax-protected interests, actually said Brookfield profits off high inflation because they can raise the rent on all their tenants. So Mark Carney and the privileged liberal elite get rich off the same inflation that makes you poor. That is an ultimate conflict of interest that means that he is better off when Canadian youth are worse off. It is disgusting, actually. It is disgusting. But the good news is Conservatives are not only fighting to put an end to his profiteering, we are going to cap government spending and cut government waste, cutting bureaucracy, consultants, foreign aid, handouts to phony refugees, corporate welfare, so that we can bring down deficits, stop printing money, and bring back the purchasing power of the dollar. We want your paycheck to go further, and that means including buying a house. We are the only ones with a practical plan to buy a home, to ensure you can actually own a home. And yes, you do need to own a home throughout your life in order to build up equity, secure collateral, and a credit history to eventually borrow and start a business. And to have a home, we need to build more homes. Why don't we have the homes? Bureaucratic gatekeepers stand in the way. Conservatives will incentivize municipalities to speed up permits, free up land, and cut development taxes. We will get rid of all federal taxes on home building. In fact, we will sit down with every level of government and set out a plan to eliminate all taxes on home building to bring down the cost of a new home by hundreds of thousands of dollars. We will eliminate the capital gains tax on anyone who reinvests in Canada and hires our youth. And you know, I look across and I look at the young people I see today, and so often I see a sense of hopelessness and despair. And you know, I want you to know that I see you. Conservatives see you. We see the sadness in your voice, the hopelessness on your face, those big, dark bags under your eyes as you've gone out to deliver one more Uber Eats delivery so that you can pay your rent. We as Conservatives know what you're going through, and we know that you've done everything right. We know that many of you have fallen into a life of addiction because of that hopelessness. Fentanyl has taken 50,000 lives, most of them young people. And our government gives out more and more drugs and goes softer and softer on the killers who hand out those drugs. We are going to protect our youth from drugs. To the mothers of Canada, know this: we will protect your kids from drugs. We will fight for your kids' future. I was at a treatment center just the other day in Windsor where they turned around lives, 71% success rate in getting these young men and women off drugs, and I went to meet with them. These are recent graduates or new clients at this drug treatment center. And oftentimes politicians show up at these places and say, I'm here to help. But you know something? They don't need my help. In fact, I came there to challenge them. I had a job for them. I looked at all of these young men and women who are fighting their addiction. Many of them are defeating their addiction. And I said, you have a job to do. You need to get better because Canada needs you. It needs you to go out on the street and reach down to the next person who's addicted. And you're going to drag them in here. And you're going to get them off drugs, and then they're going to go out into the street, and they're going to bring someone else in here, and we're going to get that person off drugs. And we're going to save every one of our brothers and sisters and friends and neighbors. And we're going to give them hope. That's what this country needs now more than ever. We need a country where people can get back up on their feet, where they can dream again, when they can believe that their dreams are possible. And so our message tonight is exactly the opposite of what youth heard in that somber, dystopic speech from Mark Carney. Our message is, you don't have to live like this. You deserve better. Canada's youth are the best and the brightest in the world, and they deserve a future to match that. We will build a country that once again rewards work, celebrates ambition, empowers our young people to take back control of their lives. We will ensure that young people can again own homes in their 20s, launch businesses, start families, be authors of their own stories. In other words, take back control of their lives. Powerful paychecks and stronger dollars are not just about mathematics and economics. They're about the freedom and opportunity to do the things that fulfill you and make you happy. We will be a nation not of bureaucrats and busybodies, of rulers and rule makers, of gatekeepers and grandees. Instead, we will be a nation of artists and adventurers, of entrepreneurs and explorers, a nation that celebrates warriors and workers, pioneers and patriots, a nation that gives a chance to every single person, no matter where they started off in life, to have a bright future, to have homes, jobs, and hope in the freest, the richest, and the best country on earth. Canada first, Canada forever. God bless our youth. Thank you.
Mark Carney gave a speech where he told Canadians they had to sacrifice more. Pierre Poilievre gives a speech, and it gives the people hope. I cannot stress this enough. In the heart of liberal Toronto, a packed room, screaming at the top of their lungs. It's moments like this that prove that Pierre's backing is stronger than ever. Anyway, I would like to know what you think down in the comment section below, and have a good one.